how to design for student engagement in your online learning courses. Check it out. Let's start by looking at some very interesting research about MOOCs. Take a look at this graphic. So what you can see here is the massive amount of dropout rate. We already know about that. However, what's really important here is this intent. And you're going to say, well, isn't that obvious? Well, not really. What it's getting at is for those who have a direct intrinsic intent to finish, chances are they are going to actually finish the online course. What does that mean for us? Well, is your course mandatory? Is it elective? Is it completely self-study? What's the context of it so that you know how to spark their interest? So another way to create interest would be sort of a unique intro. Now you can go to the discussion board links below to see those, but what about an emoji only intro initially? Sort of give the few symbols. Can people figure out what it says? Then someone can follow it up with, here's what I was trying to say. Did that make sense? Obviously, if you're doing a communication or a marketing course, this would be a great way to do it. But it is one way to sort of just, again, add something that's a little bit of a spark or interest beyond what is the obvious. The other thing too you want to do up front is make sure everybody can access everything. So if you're going to use videos, have a really short, tiny, fun video for them to make sure it's working. If they have to give some sort of feedback loop or mechanism, is there a way for that to work? So make sure all of that stuff is working up front. So the last part here, sparking interest, is how do you make it personal? In other words, how do you connect with the students? So a few quick ideas. One is, here's a few different photos. Choose which one you think I should use as profile. So one is me in Russia, one is me in class, and one is me relaxing. It just gives a little bit different personal side to who you are and what you're doing instead of just the instructor, right? Anyway, also maybe some links to some research you've either done or some cool stuff you're working on, again, which just gives a little bit more insight into who you are. And lastly, as throughout the course, as you're explaining things either in video or in a text format, especially concept ideas, maybe give some personal examples of how you've had to work through them or how they were a challenge for you. Again, this is a great way for you to connect. So that's the end of our first session, and please remember to feed their curiosity.